Hello YouTube and welcome. In this video I would like to do with you the unboxing of this new Commander deck from the set March of the Machine, and this is the Tinker Time. So back of the box we can read that this package contains a 100 card deck with 10 new cards, 10 Place Chase cards, 10 double side token cards, a planar die, foil etched display commander, the life wheel, deck box, a strategy insert and a reference card. So let's see what we get in this one. And first of all I would like to thank to the Street Champion that makes this video available for us. So taking the good stuff. Here we go. Okay, that's all. So here we have our deck box for this commander deck. Nice art in this one, and all of them, they're crazy. So this is our deck, commander deck. This is the life wheel, the strategy insert for this deck, double-sided. Here we have the planar die. So in this commander deck it is in blue, beautiful. So with this is the fifth commander deck that I make the unboxing, and we have a different color die for each of them, and this one is the blue one. Here we have the envelope with the good stuff. So let's see the cards we get in this commander deck. Put this aside. So for our commander we get Gimbal Gremlin Prodigy, 5 drops. Artifact creatures you control have trample, nice. At the beginning of your end step, create a 0/0 red Gremlin artifact creature token. Put a X +1/+1 counter on it, where X is the number of different named artifact tokens you control, and it is a 4/4. Here we have Rashmi and Ragaivan, 4 drops. Whenever you cast your first spell during each of your turns, exile the top cards of target opponent's library and create a treasure token. Then you may cast the exiled card without paying his mana cost. It is a spell with mana value less than the number of artifacts you control. If you don't cast this in this way, you may cast it this turn, and it is a 2/4. Now checking the rest of our deck, and like usual in the commander decks I'm just going to read the full cards for the rares. So here we have Shematif, 4 drops, he has flying. Whenever you combat damage to a player, create a token that is a copy of target artifact that player controls, and it is a 3/3. Sensitivity War Riders, 4 drops. He has trample. At the beginning of combat on your turn, bolster X, where X is the number of different named artifact tokens you control, and it is a 4/4. Cutthroat Negotiator, 4 drops. He has Parley. Whenever he attacks, each player reveals the top cards of their library. For each non-land card to reveal it this way, you create a tapped treasure token. Then each player draws a card, and it is a 4/3. He's drawn Detonator, 3 drops. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, he deals 1 damage to target opponent, and tap it. Sacrifice 2 artifacts, exile the top card of your library you may play that card this turn, and it is a 2/3. Icor Elishi, 4 drops. If you would roll one or more planar die, instead roll that many planar die plus 1 and ignore 1. Tap it for 2 colors mana. Path of the Animist, 4 drops. Search your library up to 2 basic land cards. Put them on the battlefield, tap it, then shuffle. Wheel of the Planeswalkers. Starting with you, each player votes for Planeswalker of Chaos. If Planeswalker gets more votes, Planeswalk. If Chaos gets more votes or the vote is tied, Chaos issues. Pain Distributor, 3 drops, it has menace. Whenever a player casts their first spell each turn, they create a treasure token. Whenever an artifact an opponent controls is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, Pain Distributor deals 1 damage to that player, and it is a 2/3. Dance with Calamity, 8 drops. Shuffle your library as many times as you choose. You may exile the top card of your library. If the total mana value of the cards exiled this way is 13 or less, you may cast any number of spells from among those cards without paying his mana cost. Crazy. Pierre and Kira Nalar, 4 drops. When enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 colorless top-tier artifact creature tokens with flying, and for 3, sacrifice an artifact. It deals 2 damage to any target, and it is a 2/2. Feldon of the Third Path, 3 drops. For 3, tap it. Create a token that is a copy of target creature card in your graveyard, except it is an artifact in addition to the other types. It gains haste, sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step, and it is a 2/3. Chaos Warp, 3 drops. The owner of target permanent shuffles it into their library, then reveals the top card of their library. If it is a permanent card, they put it onto the battlefield. Stroke of Genius, X and 3 drops. Target player draws X cards. Academy Manufactor, 3 drops. If you would create a clue, food or treasure token, instead create 1 of each, and it is a 1/3. Aid for the Coal, 5 drops. It has Revolt at the beginning of your end step. If a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn, reveal the top card of your library. If it is a permanent card, you may put it on the battlefield, otherwise you may put it on the bottom of your library. Bloodforge Battle Axe, 1 drop. The kept creature gets +2/+0. Whenever a kept creature deals combat damage to a player, create a token that is a copy of him, and it has a keep cost of 2. Brass Bounty, 7 drops. For each land you control, create a treasure token. Tap it, sacrifice this artifact, add 1 mana of any color. Cinder Glade, tap it for a red or green mana. He enters the battlefield, tap it unless you control 2 or more basic lands. Echo Storm, 5 drops. When you cast this spell, copy it for each time you cast your commander from your command zone this game. You may choose new targets for the copies. Create a token that is a copy of target artifact. Everquill Phoenix, 4 drops. He has mutate for 4. He has flying. Whenever this creature mutates, create a red artifact token named Feather with a 1. Sacrifice Feather. Return target Phoenix card from your graveyard to the battlefield, tap it, and it is a 4/4. Exotic Orchard, tap it, add 1 mana of any color that a land an opponent controls could produce. Fury Confluence, 4 drops. Choose 3. You may choose the same more than once. So Fury Confluence deals 1 damage to each creature, or it deals 2 damage for each opponent, or destroy target artifact. Frostboil Snarl, he enters the battlefield. You may reveal an island or a mountain card from your hand. If you don't, he enters the battlefield, tap it for a blue or a red mana. Game Trail. As he enters the battlefield, you may reveal a mountain or a forest card from your hand. If you don't, he enters the battlefield, tap it. Tap it for a red or green mana. Gilded Goose, 1 drop, he has flying. When enters the battlefield, create a food token. And for 2, tap it, create a food token. Tap it, sacrifice a foot, add 1 mana of any color, and it is a 0/2. Hellkite Igniter, 7 drops, he has flying and haste. For 2, he gets plus X plus 0 until the end of the turn, where X is the number of artifacts you control, and it is a 5/5. Imprisoned in the Moon, 3 drops, enchant creature, land, or planeswalker. Enchanted permanent is a colorless land with tap it, add a colorless mana, and you lose all other types and abilities. Inspiring Statuary, 3 drops. Non-artifact spells you cast have improvise. Master of Ethereum, 3 drops. His power and toughness are each equal to the number of artifacts you control. Other artifacts creatures you control gets +1/+1. Masterful Replication, 6 drops, create 1. Choose 1, Create 2 3/3 colorless golem artifact creature tokens. Choose target artifact you control. Each other artifact you control becomes a copy of that artifact until the end of the turn. Perplexing Test, 5 drops. Choose 1, return all creature tokens to their owner's hand, or return all non-token creatures to their owner's hand. Okay, nice. Rise and Shine, 2 drops. Target non-creature artifact you control becomes a 0/0 artifact creature. Put 4 +1/+1 counters on each artifact that becomes a creature this way. And he has an overload cost of 6. Shaeli's Artistry, 6 drops. Choose 1 or both. Create a token that is a copy of target artifact. Create a token that is a copy of target creature, except it is an artifact in addition to these other types. Sharding Finks, 6 drops. He is flying. Whenever an artifact creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may create a 1/1 blue chapter artifact creature token with flying, and it is a 4/4. Shimmer Dragon, 6 drops. He has flying. As long as you control 4 or more artifacts, he has X-proof. Tap 2 on tap artifacts you control, draw a card, and it is a 5/6. Interesting card, this one. Skyclave Relic, 3 drops. He has a kicker for 3. Indestructible. When he enters the battlefield, if you kick it, create 2 tap-it tokens that are copies of him. Tap it, adds 1 mana of any color. Spell Swindle, 5 drops. Counter target spell, create X treasure tokens, where X is that spell mana value. Spine of Ish Sash, 7 drops. When enters the battlefield, destroy target permanent. When it's put in the graveyard from the battlefield, return it to his owner hand. Temple of Abaddon. He enters the battlefield, tap it. When enters the battlefield, scry 1. Tap it for a red or green mana. Temple of Epiphany. He enters the battlefield, tap it. When enters the battlefield, scry 1. Tap it for a blue or red mana. Temple of Mystery. Same thing. Enters the battlefield, tap it. When enters the battlefield, scry 1. Tap it for a green or blue mana. Here we have Topter Assemble, 6 drops. He has flying. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control no Topters other than Topter Assemble, return it to his owner hand and create 5 1/1 colorless Topter artifact creatures tokens with flying, and it is a 5/5. Topter Sky Network, 4 drops. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control an artifact, create a 1/1 colorless Topter artifact creature token with flying. Whenever 1 or more artifact creatures you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Tireless Tracker, 3 drops. He has Landfall. Whenever you sacrifice a clue, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and it is a 3/2. Vedalken, Humiliator. 4 drops. He has Metal Craft. Whenever he attacks, if you control 3 or more artifacts, creatures your opponent controls lose all abilities and have base power and toughness of 1/1 until the end of the turn, and it is a 3/4. Vine Glimmer Snarl. As he enters the battlefield, you may reveal a forest or island card from your hand. If you don't, he enters the battlefield, tap it. Tap it for a green or blue mana. Workshop Elders. 7 drops. Artifact creatures you control have flying. Nice. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may have target non-creature artifact you control become a 0/0 artifact creature. If you don't, put 4 +1/+1 counters on it, and it is a 4/4. And now we should have finished with the rare cards, so let's continue with the rest. Command Tower. Crack Open, Involving Wells, Fracturate Power Zone, Gruul Signet, Izet Signet, Path to Ancestry, Reverse Engineer, Root Out, Simic Grow Champer, Simic Signet, Terraformic Expanse, Tough Cast, Replication Ring, Arcane Signet, Combine Chrysalis, Curse of Opulence, Frontier Bivouac, Jirapur Aether Grid, Junk Winder, Myriad Landscape, Reality Shift, Saeli Sublime Artificer. Nice reprinting in this. Soul Ring. Here we have Struggle and Survive, Tireless Provisioner, Vampire's Vengeance, Weirding Wood, Whirler Rogue, and here we have our basic land cards, some islands, mountains, and of course some forests, and a reference card. So this is the main deck, our command deck for this pack. Now let's check our tokens. We should have copies in something like that. So here is the display card for our commander. Here we have Topter, Treasure, Golem, Topter, Feather, Food, and in the other side, Replicated Ring, Servo, Gold, Clue, Blood, Glamling, and finally Beast. Now let's check what we have in this envelope. So we have our Plane Chase cards, and here we have our Collector Booster sample pack. Let's see what we get in this one. Are always very hard to open it. Crazy. Okay. So we have a publicity card. Ooh! A Planeswalker foil extended art. Nice. Chandra Hope's Beacon. 6 drops and has 5 loyalty points. Nice effect in this card. Crazy. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, copy it. You may choose new targets for that copy. This ability triggers only once each turn. Nice. So for +2, add 2 mana in any combination of colors. For +1, exile the top 5 cards of your library until the end of the turn of your next turn. You may cast an instant or sorcery spell from among those exiled cards. And for -X, Chandra Hope's Beacon Deals X damage to each up to 2 targets. Nice. Great pool. And here we have Inga Rune Ice for drops. When enters the battlefield, scratch 3. When he dies, draw 3 cards and 3. If 3 or more creatures die this turn. Okay. And it is a 3/3. So with a outer frame and foiled. Great booster, this one. Definitely. Now let's see our plain chests cards and what arts, amazing arts can we find in those cards. Lovely. So plain wild disaster, glimmer void basing, Celestia Loft Gardens. Oops. Islov Vesuva. What art? Crazy. Stronghold Furnace. The Wilds. Jirapur. Amazing art. The Western Cloud. 10 Wizards Mountain. Ooh, crazy art. Fantastic. New Archive is our last card. Beautiful, beautiful cards, this one. Crazy. So, this is what I have to share with you. I hope you like it, you enjoy it. Until the next time, see you!